Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to the eastern wing of the Stink Bug Works. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I watched Big B's video earlier this morning and I said, you know what? I'm at the same stage on a twin cat. And with the way things are going, it may be a while before C32 hulls show up, and that's fine. I have one on order too. I'm going to talk about that later. In fact, I'm going to talk about that later. Anyway, Big B was showing his planning for his twin cat, and I'm going to tell you mine. I'm going to build this like it was a race boat, but it's not going to fit into any particular race class. It's going to be a 3-cell boat. And my plan for this is I want to build it as light as I possibly can. Now, here's the deal when you're building race boats. You generally want the biggest hull that a motor can properly handle, rather than the biggest motor the hull can properly handle. Because the bigger the hull, the better the boat's going to ride and handle and so forth. So you want the biggest hull possible. So if you look at race boats, you look at him, it'll be there's this great big boat and a little tiny motor, and you kind of wonder for a while, but there's a reason for small motors in a big boat as opposed to big motors in a small boat. And the reason is you're limited to this motor. You must run this motor. And so they pick a boat that's this motor can push around. The biggest boat this motor can push around. Anyway, to that end, I'm going to build this as light as I possibly can and power it by a couple of these little motors. Now, these are essentially 2968. Is that what they are? Are they 68 millimeters long? Oh, they're 2958s. That's right. These are the 1515s. So they're 2958s. And so these motors right here weigh as much as my Hawaii Kai, all up ready to go with batteries. So this is the same weight as the Hawaii Kai, ready to go. This is only 2 ounces lighter than this. This is a P-spec motor. More on that later. Anyway, my plan is to utilize these clamp mounts again, and I want to stick these motors as far back into the hull as I can and still be able to get at the collet. And I'm thinking I can get the motors right there, which means I'll have all this room for battery. I'm going to use these speed controls. These leads aren't designed to handle more than 100 amps. So I'm going to use these because they're lightweight. I don't know what they weigh, but they weigh a whole lot less than Castle's speed controls. Not a cut on Castle at all, but these are lighter and they will fit my situations. So batteries will go there, or the speed control is going to go there. It'll probably just get Velcroed into place. The batteries, they're going to get jam foamed into place. There's not going to be anything attached to this hull that isn't absolutely necessary. I'm not going to inlay it with carbon. I was thinking about putting those Zeus fasteners up here, but you know what? That's weight. I don't need the weight. I mean, even with the Zeus fasteners, you'd have to tape the joint anyway. So I'm just going to rely on tape. As far as the servo, I'm going to keep it as light as I possibly can and probably just use 2 carbon blocks glued to the frame, and this will screw into them. You know, quick, simple. There it is. Actually, I think I'll turn it around, and I'll use a pull-pull arrangement just because I like pull-pull. It's precise. Going to be the bare emptiness of nothing in there. Now, I had some longer struts. I had some 80s and 85s, I think. But I ordered some 75 millimeter struts, which will put the prop, it'll put the prop about there. And I found this rudder in my bin, but I want the rudder even with or slightly behind the props. Because remember, the props are the lifting force. You know, the props want to come out of the water. And so if the prop, or if the rudder is in front of the prop, it handles much better with the prop after the prop. The rudder after the propellers. You want the rudder behind the propellers. They just seem to handle a little more precisely. If you have the rudder up in front of it, I don't like it. So there you go. That's my plans for the Twin Cat. Everything I can do to keep it light. It'll get no paint. It might get a windscreen on it just to give it something. But the joint finish on these is good enough. I'm just going to leave it and call it good. Back to this. I may see if I can get a longer bracket here. I looked before and couldn't find one. I could make a standoff block, but that adds weight. I could just get some aluminum angle and machine these, but I'd have to be real precise. Well, I'd still have to be pretty precise. It'd be a whole lot easier just to buy something. So that's where I'm at. The Speedmaster rudder is a bit longer. It'll come out to about here. So I may opt for a Speedmaster rudder. We'll have to see. So I bought me a little teardrop trailer. I am going to go on a road trip. And I'm going to go on a road trip, and I'm going to go to various lakes and ponds and such and see what I can do. So all you folks that are in the Southwest, and that would, let's see, how far do I want to go? I don't want to cross the Mississippi. And quite frankly, I don't even know if I want to cross the Rockies. I could do south, you know, and go through, well, let's just say west of the Rockies and through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. Maybe even up into Oklahoma and there. I have to draw a picture of the United States in my mind. Colorado's got a lot of water, but it's a long drive, and you got to go up and over the bump or down and around the bump. So there you go. There's some of my thinking. So I got a screaming deal on this little retro-looking teardrop trailer. It was all hand-built, and the guy was an absolute craftsman. I mean, well, look, his keychain, he kind of burned the edges to make it look kind of like that. But look at this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 ply, furniture grade plywood. It's all made out of that stuff. And it's all nicely finished like this. The guy did a fantastic job. Nice corners. All the cabinets are square and perfect and tight. You can't see screws or nails anywhere. The guy did a great job. Okay, on to P-Spec. Now this is the 2000 kV version. I have the 1800 kV version in my Campbell shovel, my old 1/12 scale LSH boat. I still have it. And now instead of a Speed 700, it has this motor in an 1800 kV. I have yet to run this motor. With the SV27 motor and the SV27 speed control, which weren't that spectacular, it would easily do, mid 40s in oval trim. So, that's not bad for, and God, that was 2 decades ago. Was it 2 decades? Whenever the SV27 was out, that's when I was doing mid 40 oval trim. So this motor is still a little bit dated, and it's not one of Steve's most efficient motors because remember I talked before, Steve found out that by changing your 36 millimeter diameter up to 40, that increase in the steel in the stator increased the efficiency. So that's why, the 40 series motors are just all around better. They're more efficient. So P limits you to these 36 millimeter diameter motors, or I guess the Tenshock motor is 37 millimeters, and P limitations will allow you to go up to there. So here's my plan, boys and girls. Here's my plan. I have this motor, and it has enough room here to get a clamp on it. And Tenshock now has their new Evo motor out. Now, the deal with the Evo motor is when you're building race motors, you want the most efficiency. That's what you want. The more efficiency, the better. And here's where the Evo motors take a giant leap forward. They don't use copper. They use a silver copper amalgam. And that has less resistance per linear distance of wire than just plain copper. And by having less resistance per lineal distance, because it's the lineal distance that you need, so less resistance over that lineal distance gives you more efficiency. So the Tenshock motors, now Steve's motors are real efficient, and I'd put them up against the Tenshock. And in fact, that's my plan, because the Tenshock motor comes with, if you buy them from Steve over at OSE. By the way, Steve is back ordered on the X8 speed control. So I'm sure everybody's knocking at his door saying, Steve, when are you going to get the speed controls? So he knows, he's on it. So because that clamp comes with the Tenshock motor, I'm just going to swap them in and out. I like the idea of being able to swap them in and out with just a clamp. And like my plan here, if I had bolts on a motor mount there, do you know how insane it would be to try to get at them? No, I wouldn't even attempt it. So with some tweaking, I'm going to use these motor mounts. There you go, boys and girls. Okay, for not having anything to say, I've spent 15.5 minutes saying nothing. So until next time, boys and girls. Jet out.